Hi, folks, and welcome back to the Weekly Wrap, the weekly show we're doing on Unplanned to try to keep the news a little more current, a little more up to date, and to dig into more current affairs here on Unplanned about cities and how they work, specifically in the Boston, Cambridge, Somerville area. And here's some of the topics on this week's Weekly Wrap. This is just a preview of some of the topics we're tracking. One is the Harvard University Theater. It's a theater right in the heart of Harvard Square, just on Church Street there. It has been owned by Gerald Chan, who is a billionaire, according to news reports. And he has basically done nothing with the theater in the last decade plus that he has owned it. The city council recently passed a policy order asking him to come in to explain what his plans for the university theater are. And that seems altogether appropriate. They have an interest in keeping the square vibrant. The squares in Cambridge have really been hit hard by the change to online shopping and the loss of sort of local retail. And so it's a good plan for to get him to come in. We'll keep an eye on that story. That's very local news. The next one is also pretty local news. It's Cambridge, City of Cambridge, and its new zoning, which allows for up to 6 stories anywhere in the city, given a certain lot size. And we hope to get somebody on the show to help us understand that a little bit better and also help us to understand what the impacts have been so far. The zoning just passed. I mean, it's really not that old. And so there's a lot yet to be seen. But what I've heard, at least anecdotally, is that the first people to request information about what this zoning was doing for them were people who already had fairly substantial houses and wanted to do expansions. And what they've done is they've used the new zoning as a tool to be able to do the expansion of their kitchen or their this or their that, add square footage on their lot that they weren't able to do before. So that's an interesting byproduct. It perhaps is not the one they were planning on having, but it is one that at least is the first impact of this new zoning. So we'll be keeping track on that. And then finally, very interested. I mean, obviously, Donald Trump is consuming a huge amount of bandwidth in all of our brains right now. His attacks on immigration and his attacks on universities, specifically, particularly most recently Harvard, it's very, very interesting. The angle that we want to look at here is not about Harvard, but about MIT and what impacts the Trump administration might have on Kendall Square, which is a tech hub in the eastern portion of Cambridge, right next to MIT. It derives a lot of its power, its force, its energy from the talent that is associated with that university. And very interesting to hear and to find out what people are thinking about what impact the Trump administration may have on the future of Kendall Square, which is a big economic driver in eastern Massachusetts and New England, and from which a huge amount of innovation can trace its roots. So these are all some topics that we want to be covering. Still working on my James Miner interview. James, we will get that done, I promise. And that's it for the weekly week. April 17th, I hope you got your taxes done. Remember to hit subscribe. We always want more subscribers. And yeah, we'll catch up with you next week.